Welcome back to the channel, guys. It's me, darksaiyan, and in today's video I'm going to be talking about the Incredible Hulk Future Imperfect. Now, I've done a YouTube short on this comic story in the past, back when this channel was not so popular. I mean, we're still not so popular, but this was back when we were trying to figure out what kind of content to put on here, what our name was going to be, our scheduling, yada yada yada, that kind of stuff. So in this video, I'm just going to be doing a deeper narration of the story because it's one of my favorites that I read when I was a kid, and I hope you guys enjoy it. Alright, so basically the storyline of Future Imperfect begins pretty straightforward. The planet is a nuclear wasteland where most of humanity lives in a massive city called Dystopia, ruled by the very powerful individual known as the Maestro. So enter Janice Jones and her companions, who are trying to move around unnoticed. But psych, the gravity police pull up on them boys and tell them that they've been identified as insurgents and that they are under arrest. And before you know it, Janice's crew start letting them things go, exchanging fire with the gravity police. And before I continue, I think it's important for everyone to notice the diabolical smile on this certified crash out's face as he says, "I love this job," before he proceeds to rain down on Janice's crew like he's the Holy Ghost. Anyways, Janice comes out of hiding and joins the fight and actually takes down some of the members of the gravity police. But one of her crew members is seriously injured and he tells them to leave him and escape. But the gravity police, them boys are nothing if not persistent. They actually track them down, and as they are about to let them things go on Janice, the building beside them begins to collapse, and out of the rubble comes the Green Goliath, the Incredible Hulk, or rather, to be more specific, this is Professor Hulk. Now, for those of you who don't know, Professor Hulk is the idealized version of Bruce, where he has all the strength of the Savage Hulk, the intelligence of Bruce Banner, but none of the emotional baggage, rage, and daddy issues, while also having the cunning of Grey Hulk, that's Joe Fixit. So this version of Hulk is definitely stronger than the regular Savage Hulk. Anyways, Dr. Banner shows up and he tears them boys up. He is just running through them, and even Janice is like, "Yo, my gramps says the best thing to do is to give him room to work." So while Hulk is having those boys' asses for lunch, pause, a war dog appears before Hulk. And again, I will be remiss to mention the absolute diabolical statement of these gravity police dudes. Like bro says, if you wish to include the names of your next of kin in your dying screams, please do so. They will be notified within 48 hours. That is some preposterous work right there. Anyways, predictably, the Hulk busts that thing up in one punch and he tosses its head at the remaining members of the gravity police, finishing them off, saying that he's coming for the Maestro next. Meanwhile, at the palace, in the midst of Maestro's horizontal wrestling session with multiple women, news of the Hulk's arrival has reached his ears, and at that moment, it's revealed that the Maestro is a much older, darker version of the Hulk. So back in the city, the Hulk is moving around and everyone is staring at him with fear, but he soon links up with Janice and she takes him to the secret hideout and he tells her, "Yo, I've been cool so far because Rick Jones vouched for you, so you better tell me why y'all brought me here or I'm bringing down the house." That's not what he said, but you know, you can see that I'm just paraphrasing. So she basically gives him a quick history and she shows him trophies of a world gone. Y'all can pause and check out all the stuff that's here. I don't really have the energy to name them all, but basically they're all helmets and memorabilia of every Marvel hero that fought in a war. And Janice takes Hulk to her grandfather, and it's then revealed that he is Rick Jones. So yeah, Janice is the granddaughter of Rick Jones from the future. So back to the Maestro's palace real quick. It seems that one of Janice's companions that was captured is having his mind scanned, as torture didn't make him talk. And Maestro is like, "Yo, I'm gonna give you one last chance to talk," while he's holding fine shit. But dude just spits on his face. And as Maestro is about to crash out and crush his skull, his minister warns him not to, saying that's what he wants so they can't scan his mind. Anyways, they scan his mind and they see how Janice met up with Rick in the past and got Hulk to their dimension, how it was all old Rick's idea and the location of their hideout, and all that mind scanning completely lobotomizes Janice's companion. So Maestro smashes his skull and storms out the room. Alright, so back to the rebel base. Rick Jones explains to the Hulk that he's 90 years in the future and that the world has been devastated by 2 nuclear wars that killed many of its heroes. When Bruce asks what happened to Betty, Rick points to a shelf with numerous ashes with one labeled Betty Banner, and Hulk, seeing this, he sheds a single tear. Rick also explains that the only civilization left is Dystopia and that it's maintained by the Maestro, who used devices to keep the radiation low enough for people to live, but he lords over the people. But then the Hulk asks him, like, for real, who's the Maestro? Rick looks at him and says, Do you really have to ask? Hinting that Bruce already knew who the Maestro was. Anyways, the Maestro and his boys from Gravity Police are marching through the city on their way to the hideout. The Maestro literally starts digging with his bare hands to the underground city. Bro smashes his way through the underground complex, but the Resistance knew that this may happen someday, so they had various traps set up to cut down the Maestro's minions, and it was not pretty. Them boys were really prepared. Anyway, this all irritates Maestro, and he just straight up walks through all the traps, which do little to no harm to him. He goes on to yell at the Resistance to show themselves and face him. Then the Hulk appears in front of him. Staring each other down, both men say, "Dr. Banner, I presume." Anyways, that's the video, guys. Thank you if you made it all the way to the end. I really appreciate it. I'll try and get part 2 out as soon as I can. This long form content stuff really drains the life out of me. But anyway, I'm appreciative if you made it all the way to the end. Please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.